Hello, I hope all is well. So today it's a really quick video. We're going to be looking at a quick tip within Fractal Edit, and that's to bypass or engage a block across all scenes and why that might be useful for you. So let's set up a preset from scratch. I'll show you why this might be useful. So an in and an out, we'll hook those up together. And let's just start with an amp and a cab right bang in the middle. So when I first got the Fractal unit and I was using Fractal Edit, something I was always doing was going through each scene and then adding a block depending on the scene that I was trying to program. So I'll take an example here. So let's take scene 4. I want a delay in scene 4, so I'll add a delay. It's engaged on scene 4, which is great. And then on my main scene, which is scene 1, which is the basic scene that we'll begin with, the delay is also active. And if we go through some of these other scenes, you know, it's bypassed on those. It's engaged again on scene 4, which is what we want. It's bypassed here. It's engaged again on scene 6, 7, and 8. So the only scene we want it engaged on is actually scene 4. And this is where this really comes in handy. So if you click on the block menu up here, and you go down to all scenes, you have various options for the block that you have selected. And you can, for example, bypass it on all scenes or engage it on all scenes. There's also keyboard shortcuts that are available. I'm on Windows, so for a bypass, it's Control, Shift, and Spacebar. Or to engage it on all scenes, it's Shift and Spacebar. And you can also, for example, set it to which channel it will be on all scenes. I think it defaults there as well to A on all scenes, but if that's not the case, you can do that here. And now the beauty of this is that problem, per se, that I was alluding to before, in that I only want it engaged on scene 4, but as you can see, it's engaged on scene 1, scene 6, and I think 7, and even 8. To save time, you can then click block up here, all scenes, you bypass it on all scenes, and then you've got scene 4 selected, and then you engage again with, say, the spacebar. And now we can see, for example, on all the other scenes, it's bypassed, except on scene 4, where you want it engaged. I'll follow on from this in that there's a really handy tool, which is the Scene Manager, which also relates to this as well, which can really speed up your workflow when naming different scenes, and also the whole bypassing blocks, engaging blocks, and seeing which scenes they're actually active on. So within the Scene Manager subpage, and I'll link to some videos that really go into detail on specifically this. There's a really good one from Roche, for example, or Alex on the subject. So I'll link both of those below if you want a specific video just on this page. But as an example, for the delay we added, we can see that it's bypassed on all scenes except for scene 4, which is really handy. And when you have this, for example, clicked, you can click on a different block and you see for which scene it's engaged and for which scene it might be inactive. As I've selected amp and cab here, they're engaged on all scenes, which is exactly what we want. I click on delay, it becomes visible in this block, and then we see which scenes it's engaged or which scenes it's bypassed in. And if you add more blocks, let's say add a reverb at the end, it will also appear here if we have this engaged. And what you can do with this drop-down menu is the same thing as with the block menu. You can click this button and say for it to say bypass in all scenes or engage in all scenes. In this example, the reverb's active, so I want it bypassed in all scenes, but I want it engaged in scene 4 with our delay, which is active here. It will be engaged there. And as we can see, on all the other scenes, it's bypassed. And the other time-saving tip is that instead of, say, clicking through each scene here and then naming them accordingly while you're programming, within Scene Manager, you get an overview of your different scenes. You can see which effects are active or not. You can click on the scene buttons here. And what's really cool is that you can name them all or change the names right here. So let's say, I'll have that as a bass tone. say dirt, and then do, re, etc. So you can name all the scenes here instead of clicking through each scene separately. And then for a last quick tip, it's using preset and revert preset. When, say, you're trying different values on different blocks, let's have an example here. You can hit preset and then revert preset, and it goes back to the original saved state of your preset, i.e. before you saved. Maybe you've been doing it like this, where you've changed some values, but you're not so sure. So you hit the preset button again, and you reload it. There's a slightly quicker way if you hit preset, and revert preset does the same thing. So hopefully these quick tips were useful for you in putting together your presets and your tones. I know for me, it's saved me a lot of time when editing and putting things together. And all these things add up when you're tweaking tones and working on stuff, which ultimately will give you more time to play guitar, which hopefully is the main goal here. So thanks a lot for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. Take care.